Hello, my name is Brittany and welcome to Family Fridays Paint Night. A few words before we begin. Thank you for your continued interest and support for this workshop. You can expect a new video every third Friday of the month for the foreseeable future until we can resume classes in person at the Art and Spirituality Center. Speaking of which, there are other classes being held virtually if you are interested in taking any of those. I'll leave the link to our virtual calendar in the description box below. As a reminder, my class was made to promote bonding between family and friends. You do not need to be an artist to enjoy art. My art isn't perfect, so don't think yours needs to be either. To all those participating in this activity, I want you to try your best and don't worry about the outcome. My hope is for you to let go, get lost in the artistic process, and forget about what's currently happening in the world, even just for a little bit. One last thing before we begin. Feel free to pause, rewind, fast forward, mute, or do anything you need in order to follow along with this video. I normally take over 3 hours to complete a painting, even though my class runs about 2.5 hours. For the sake of time and to make a short video, the clips you see of me painting are sped up significantly. Please, by all means, relax and take your time. I hope you enjoy. Let's get started. Here is what we will be painting for March of 2022. Disclaimer, this is my interpretation of the original artwork I found somewhere on the internet. I do not take credit for this concept and I wish I could find the original artist to give credit. Think of this as a study of the original artwork. Here we have a beautifully colored rainbow butterfly in front of a bright green background. St. Patrick's Day was earlier this week, and some see the butterfly as a symbol of change, new beginnings, and good luck, so it is perfectly acceptable to display this painting during any time of the year. Feel free to take artistic control, change the colors, make additions or adjustments, or change it up completely. The choice is yours. Alright, let's talk about paint. We'll be using acrylic paint for this activity. You can use the fancier, more expensive paints if you want to. For this project, I'll be using paints you can find at your local craft store or even Walmart that are less than $1. We'll need a few colors: purple, pink, orange, yellow, lime green, sky blue, blue, black, and white. We'll need a few brushes today: a large flat brush, a medium flat brush, a medium round brush, a small round brush, and a thin detail brush. Some other materials we will need: something to put under the canvas or canvas board, such as a tablecloth or newspaper. You can also use a mat board or a foam board. Here is my newer mat board that I used for the first time in last month's video. You can easily find these reusable boards in any craft area. Of course, you need something to paint on. I personally will be using a canvas board, 12 by 16 specifically. You can also use an actual canvas of any size too. Then we have our paints. You'll need a plate to put the paint on. You can also use a palette if you have one. A water cup to clean your paintbrushes. And lastly, a paper towel or an old towel. I'm using an old towel that I have used for other paintings, as you can see here. Okay, order of operations, how this painting will go. First, we will sketch out the butterfly, starting with the center of the body, and then the right wing and left wing. And then we will sketch out the antennas. Once we have that drawn, we will start with the green background. Then we will add some color to the wings, starting with the top colors, then the bottom colors. Then we will outline everything that we need to in black. Same thing with white. Then we will add all of the little fun dots to the butterfly. Nice and simple. Alright, let us begin. So first I'm going to get a pencil. You can use chalk if you want to. And I'm also going to get a second device just to kind of mimic where the body of the butterfly is going to be, trying to get it at the right angle, a little bit slanted, but also towards the middle of the canvas. So that's going to take place of the body, and then I'm just going to do an upwards curve, not necessarily making it all the way to the corner of the canvas, but a little bit off center. So that is the top of the wing. Here I'm sketching out just roughly the body of the butterfly. And then up here, I am just dividing the top part of the wings from the bottom part of the wings. And this butterfly is meant to basically take up the whole page. You can do more than one butterfly. You can do one that completely fills the page so they're not cut off, the wings aren't cut off. You can make it face the other direction. You can do whatever you would like to make it personalized to you. So now I'm just gonna do the antennas, and then we're gonna get ready to start painting. Okay, so now I'm going to pour out some of my lime green paint as well as the yellow just to get started on the background. And because we sketched out everything, normally we would paint our background first and then draw on top. I didn't really want to do that here just because some of the lighter colors, the green might show through. So we're kind of doing it a little bit differently to where we draw whatever the topic is, and then we're just going to basically paint around it. So right here, I don't want to lose my spot of where the antennas are, for example, so I'm going to paint around that, and then I am painting around the wing. So similarly to how we paint every other painting that we do, having a base layer of paint, a first coat of paint, will help any other top coats have something to grab onto. So that's basically what I'm doing here. I'm just putting down a rough layer of green paint, and I will mix it in with a little bit of yellow, and then I will do another coat just so that it is more opaque, it's more solid, and I don't see the white of the canvas below. And just for future reference, I will also be doing that with the wings. So if you don't want to do a second layer and this looks fine to you, that's great. So you'll be done a lot quicker than I am. But right here, I'm just trying to get an idea of how to paint the background, and that's what I'll do with the wings as well. So first I put down a layer of the lime green paint, but I do want to mix it in with a little bit of yellow, so that's what I'm doing here. So before I put that second layer on, I do need to let this one dry. So while that one dries, we're going to get started on painting the rest of the butterfly. So now I'm going to pour out all of my other colors. So here we have pink, orange, blue, I already have the yellow, purple, and our sky blue as well. And later on, you'll see me adding in some white as well. So you can either use your large flat brush here or your medium flat brush. I kind of fluctuate between the two. And once again, I'm just putting on that first layer. So it doesn't have to be perfect right now. Of course, knowing me, I tried to make it as perfect as I could. But once I realized that I do for sure need to put on a second layer, I just kind of had fun with it. So starting from the top of the wing, I did pink. You can also do red if you want, but just pink I felt like mixes in with the orange very well. So I did a pink fading into orange and then fading into yellow. The orange kind of overpowers the yellow a little bit here, but that's okay. Once we let that dry, we'll paint the yellow on top and it'll show up a lot better. So right now, just roughly doing the top layer of the butterfly, and then soon we will move to the bottom layer. So now I'm just going to clean off my brush, and we're going to do the same thing to the bottom. So here I'm starting off with my sky blue, and then I will fade to, mine is more of a cobalt blue. You can use just a regular standard blue, a navy blue. It's all going to mix together anyway, so just a darker blue than this will be fine. So here we have our sky blue, then we will do our darker blue, and then it will fade to the purple. And then once that is all dry, we'll start back again with the green. So I'll see you in a bit. Have fun, and then we will do our second layers of all these colors. Okay, now that we laid down our first layer of colors, the background and the wings, we're going to start with our second layer, so the background once again. So I really want that yellow to show through, so first I'm going to put down some yellow, and with my medium flat brush, you can also use your large flat brush just to cover more surface area quicker. I'm just going to go back and forth with the yellow and the lime green, and I'm just going to mix it as much as possible. I still do want to see some of the brush strokes in all of my little dabbing motions, but you can feel it out if you really want to see the brush strokes, if you want it to be as blended as possible. I kind of just wanted to see like the little dabs in there, just a little bit. So I'm going to start with the top side, this side to the left, then the bottom side, and I did add a little tiny bit of green on the right side of the between the top and bottom wings, but eventually I do cover that up, so if you don't get to that, that's totally okay. So I will check back in very soon when we're done painting this background. Okay, so now we're going to work on our final layers of the colorful parts of the butterfly. So to be honest, this is what took me the longest. I probably did this coat and then maybe another one on top. I was a little obsessive over this just because I love colors and I love blending colors, so if you don't have to take this much time or do this many takes, that's totally okay. This is just me having fun and blending colors just because I like colors. So same thing that we did before. We are starting with that hot pink color, then going into the orange and then the yellow. You see here still that I am having a little bit of trouble having the yellow show through, so I'm pouring out some white here and I'm just going to try to lighten this up a little bit, and I'm going to blend that in, and then the yellow actually does show up a little bit better on top. But we will be adding in our black and white outlines on top of all this. So if you don't add in the white right now, that's totally fine. We can add more white in later, and we can also add in more yellow later. So right now, just focus on how you want the wings to look, just those base colors. So the pink, orange, yellow, and then the light blue, darker blue, and purple. So have fun with that. The majority of this portion of the video is just on these wings, and again, it might not take you a long time to do, so if you want to just watch me paint and you're already ahead of me, that's great. If you already finished and you want to skip ahead, feel free to fast forward or skip ahead, pause, rewind. It's completely up to you. This is just supposed to be relaxing and for you to have fun. So I'm going to continue painting these wings, and I will check back in when they are all nice and dry. Welcome back. We made it this far. Yay! Okay, so now we are going to start doing the black. So first I am pouring out some black, and then with my thin detail brush I am just going to do the body. I really don't quite know the body anatomy of a butterfly, but I'm just gonna kind of just do what's in my head, I guess. If you want to get technical, I guess you can Google it if you want. But right here I just did like a little pointed oval for the head, kind of looking like a worm right here. And then the body kind of looks like a dragonfly a little bit, to be honest, but I'm going to try to curve it out a little bit to make it more oval, and then just with the pointy little bottom right here. And you can make this as thin as you want, different shape, more round. I think I'm going to make it a little bit thicker right here. But first we're going to do the body, then we're going to start outlining the wings. Okay, once we add all of these black and white details, it'll really pull the butterfly together. So again, with my thin detail brush, I am going to outline most of the parts of the wing. So I will do the top right part of the butterfly, what you're seeing here. I will also do some of the middle, so not quite touching, where the cool colors meet the warm colors. And then again right here, not quite touching the body, going off from the bottom of the butterfly. Then right here, same thing, not quite touching the body, but about an inch from the body. And then we will do the side of the bottom, and then once we get to that bottom portion, same thing, not quite touching the body. And then on the rest of the wing, the top left and just the left side of the warm colors, we will outline the entire thing. And then we will start to add some of our what I call tiger stripes. So right here, actually, don't forget the antennas. You can't really see it quite on camera, but I do still see my outlines, my original outlines of the antenna, so that's just what I'm doing here. If you can't see them because you painted over yours, that's fine. You can just paint them on, or if you feel more comfortable sketching them out first with pencil, that is okay too. Alright, so now we're going to add all of our fun little tiger stripes here. So I made that middle line between the warm colors and the cool colors on the right side a little bit thicker, and then right here just more stripes. It does look a little dark now with all of these stripes, and you can do as many as you want, as little as you want, none at all. It's completely up to you. If it's too dark for you, you can go ahead and paint it over with the colors that coordinate, or the white will also cover it up. And you'll see on the top portion of this butterfly, once it gets close to the center, I don't quite like some of those lines that I did, so eventually I did paint over that and then I redid it. So just like right here, I felt like some of these lines were a little bit too dark for me, so I'm trying to lighten it up a little bit. So if you feel like you need to make any last minute adjustments, that is totally up to you. Right now is the time before we go further and do the white details. So you can see here that I'm kind of painting over some of the black lines. That's totally okay. Once I do that and I make it a little bit more thin, I will trace over it again with the black. So I really like all of these colors with the black and white. It kind of reminds me of Lisa Frank, if you know what that is. And fun fact, in the Art Center, if you've ever been into the Art Center, we have these big collaborative canvases. They're these big canvases that we've all done as a group over the past few years. And one of the very first ones that I worked on, it was just so colorful, and it was just the first one that I was involved in, and it was so much fun. I named it. It is called the Mona Lisa Frank, and we actually entered it into the fair one year, so that was fun. So if you ever stop by the art center or want to know what that is, maybe we'll post it on Instagram or something so you can see what that is. But once the art center opens up, please stop by so you can see the Mona Lisa Frank. So right here now, just because I felt like it was a little too dark, I'm making it a little bit lighter again. So I added in some white this time, so it's a lot lighter than what it was before. Adding in some of that purple again, going to add some purple closer to the body of the butterfly as well, making it lighter with the sky blue, and same thing of what you just saw on the right side. Once I'm done making my last minute adjustments, I will paint over it again with those black lines just because I lost them during this part. So I might do that again with the top of the butterfly here, with the orange, pink, and yellow, adding in some yellow, adding in some more pink. So once I do those last adjustments, I will check back in when we are ready to do the white. So just stay tuned and have fun. If you don't need to do these details, that's great. You can just enjoy watching me paint, or you can skip ahead. So that's completely up to you. I'll check back in a moment. Here is where I really feel like the painting comes together. So now we are finally going to add the white outlines. So with my medium flat brush, I'm just using the thinner side just to load up on the paint. I am first outlining all of the outside portions of the wings just so I can see what it's looking like right next to the black. So I'm going to do the wings, and I'm also going to do the antennas right here just since I'm right there. Then right here, I'm going to do the wings, and then I will do those outlines again. So I'm not doing necessarily the white outline on every single black line that I did within the butterfly. You can if you want to, but since we will be adding all of these little, well, what I call stars, but paint splatters, dots, whatever you want to call them, all of these like special little details afterwards. I don't want it to compete too much, so I'm making it just a bit thin, a little bit skinnier, if not the same size as what it is on the black. So I'm almost doing every single stripe, but not all of them. And I'm only doing a few on the lines that are closest to the body of the butterfly, not all of them, just because I want the black outline to stand out as much as possible. So I hadn't done it just yet, but the top black lines of the butterfly that are close to the body on the warm color side, I haven't painted over those just yet, but you will see them temporarily disappear once I do fix that off camera, and then there it goes, disappeared. So I will add those back in soon. So now I just felt like I wanted a little bit more purple up here, so I'm carefully going to add in some more purple. And no harm, no foul if you do decide to add in some more colors here and paint over some of your other lines, just like I constantly do with the body of the butterfly. That's totally okay. You can just paint it over again with the black. So some last minute colorations that you want to add or fix, now is the time. So now I'm going to add in some of those other lines. I'm sketching them out first. I didn't do that the last time. So I'm sketching them out first, and then with my thin detail brush right here, I'm just going to add them back, and I felt like they were a lot better, a lot thinner than what they initially were. So once we have that going on, I will also finish tracing out my antenna, because I kind of lost the one on the right a little bit and the left. So I'm gonna work on my lines. There we go, here's the antenna. Work on the lines, and then we will do the fun little paint splatters. I apologize, there's just this little last step right here. If you felt like you wanted to add more white lines in there just to lighten it up a little bit, right here would also be the time. So here, doing the ones closer to the body of the butterfly, and then I'm just going to fix what I just painted right here. There we go. Now it is time to move on to the fun little polka dots or paint splatters. So with my medium round brush, I'm literally just having fun, just doing dot 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 wherever I want to. Doesn't have to be a perfect circle. That's not what the reference picture was. So I'm basically doing them in the corners of the canvas where the green is, and then towards the edges of the butterfly and the middle of the butterfly. So I'm doing some big ones, some little ones, just filling in as much of the space as I want. And you will paint over some of those tiger stripes that you did. If you like some of those tiger stripes and you want to have those lines back, just wait till the paint is dry and you can paint over them. I did do that after I did some of my little paint splatters, my little star unite effect. I just wanted to have those lines back. So now with my small round brush, I'm doing the same thing just to get some dots even smaller than that. And I still felt like it wasn't enough dots. I just wanted more dots, because on the colorful parts of the butterfly, it's just the white dots. On the green part of the canvas, that's where we add in the black. So I just felt like I wanted to fill the butterfly up with some more white and just make it as colorful and contrast as possible to the colors that we have. So with my medium flat brush and some watered down white paint, I'm carefully just going to aim towards the edges of the butterfly, not really trying to get onto the green. If you want, you can cover it up, but it's not too big of an issue if you get some on the green. That's totally fine, but I'm mainly just trying to get them towards the corner of the wings. So now we are going to add the black. So the black parts of the dots, you can do some smaller ones. I think I'm just doing my medium round brush and my my small round brush. Mainly just my small round brush though. Those dots can get pretty big with just that one brush. So I'm doing that towards some of the corners of the green, and it just really ties everything in together, especially the black tiger stripes. So once that's done, then we're done. Yay! And that is it, my friends. Good job if you made it this far and completed the painting. I'm happy with my finished product, and I hope you are with yours too. If your painting looks different from mine, that is totally fine. If you followed along and completed the painting or went on a creative adventure of your own, please feel free to share your artwork with us. We'd love to see it. Email address can be found on the link in the description box below. As you know, I miss everyone, and I really wish I were with my Family Friday class painting alongside them. I'm also happy to know that more people have had the chance and opportunity to do art safely at home and on their own time. I hope these videos bring you joy and you were able to relax and not worry about the current events of the world, even just for a little bit. Please stay safe, have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next time.